I love Star Trek, which is why I hate bad Star Trek. And today let's talk about good Star Trek, even if it isn't Voyager and Neelix-centered.
That's very amusing.
I know, believe me, I know. And on this Easter day, let's talk about the resurrection. But we won't be talking about the resurrection of Jesus, we're talking about someone we don't like. This is a resurrection of Neelix. Yet it's still a good show. Now I'm really confused. Anyway, this is not our Savior Month, Mortal Coil. We begin the episode with Harry Kim desperately in need of coffee.
Apparently he also just sat through Where Silence Has Lease.
After coughing up Harry, Neelix is invited by Chakotay to join him on the next away mission where they have to go into a dangerous nebula and capture some dangerous energy. Then he meets up with 7 of 9 and discusses food.
I've been adding Talaxian spices to broaden your palate.
My palate is sufficiently broad.
Oh, why settle for sufficient?
I'm with 7 on this. I'm not a big fan of overly spicy foods, and can she pick her own food at least, dude? Then he invites her to Prixon, sort of the potluck dinner holiday of the Talaxians. And then he's called by Samantha Wildman to come help young Naomi fall asleep, because Neelix is her godfather and she can't fall asleep without him. And this is where I gotta mention that despite all the Neelix jokes Kim and I like to make, because they are fun to make, I'm not going to deny that, and the fact that Neelix can be sincerely annoying on many occasions, I've always identified with him a bit. Mostly because at the time this was airing, where I lived, this was sort of the role I played in my social circle. I was the guy who did little things all over the place, didn't have much of a big role, and of course I was a big friend to all the children in the area, and I was their buddy and all that, and so I can really identify with Neelix. And I'm going to be identifying with him in this episode. We're going to make a few Neelix jokes, but for the most part, we're going to treat this kind of seriously.
You don't have the right!
Sorry.
No monsters here.
Good. Check the replicator.
Maybe Neelix should check your room so you can go to bed.
Yeah! I found the monster! It's a terrifying skinless giraffe thing! Neelix, you missed it. It's behind you! Kill it! Kill it!
So to help her get to sleep, he tells her all about Talaxian heaven, with the great tree of getting together and all of that.
It's a beautiful, beautiful forest, filled with sunlight. And all the people who ever loved me are gathered there to watch over me as I sleep.
I like watching you sleep. It's, extra creepy.
I have a small containment cylinder stored here. I'll just be a minute. Cylinder. Little cylinder, where are you?
You really do make it difficult for me to like you.
Last time I used this little wonder, I nearly lost her to the K-Zone.
The Kazon. Species 329.
Were they assimilated?
Their biological and technological distinctiveness was unremarkable. They were unworthy of assimilation.
Wow, even the Borg looked down on the Kazon.
Why assimilate a species that would detract from perfection?
I mean, they're not wrong, but... Well, Neelix, you put it very well.
I didn't realize the Borg were so discriminating.
Up to the nebula we now go, where one of us will die. Hey!
I've got the sample, Commander, and it's stable.
And millions of Trek fans suddenly roared in approval.
And the cold open ends when Neelix dies. This whole episode is going to be about how a Talaxian deals with death.
Talaxian? Death?
Receiving, not causing.
Oh.
I really can't stand that guy. Ah! You know, this cold open is a little longer than the cold open of Where Silence Has Lease, but man is it more effective, because they fill their time with things that fit with the theme, and even when they don't fit directly with the theme, still reveal things about character and are more interesting to watch than Worf acting like a baboon.
No heartbeat, no synaptic response, Extensive cell damage to his brain.
Well, how can you tell?
Look at it, it's a different color.
Oh. They beam Neelix back, but he's too far dead.
The Talaxians mourn their dead for a full week in a specific burial ceremony. And that's just what we're going to do.
I'll inform the crew.
They'll need time to do the proper stretches and replicate the cheese whiz.
Seven comes into sickbay and sees what's happening and offers to resurrect Neelix using her magic Borg sorcery. Oh, they call it nanoprose, but you might as well say I'm using Borg magic.
Borgery.
Sounds Swedish.
The alveoli in his lung are regenerating.
Wow! Nice continuity for a change, Voyager. And yeah, we mean that sincerely.
They work their arcane technobabble, and Neelix is once again free to stalk the innocent.
What happened? What happened? Why am I here?
We get lots of funding we have to burn up, or we don't get it next year.
And Seven drops the hypo spray and walks off to the beat.
It's not often you get to make a smug look about your necromancy. You've earned this, Seven. Enjoy it.
Dead?
For 18 hours, 49 minutes, 13 seconds. Congratulations, Mr. Neelix. You've just set a new world record.
Oh, I see we're not counting Jesus or Lazarus in this.
Of course, Star Trek wouldn't.
Yeah, of course. Neelix seems understandably weirded out by the fact that he's been dead for 18 hours.
I could help with that investigation.
No, you are taking some time off, and that's an order.
No, Captain, please. I don't need any special treatment.
Look, just take a death day. It's standard on this ship.
And here, finally alone in his quarters, Neelix seems afraid.
Why weren't you there?
Seven and Tuvok discuss death, and this is just a nice little scene.
There seem to be countless rituals and cultural beliefs designed to alleviate their fear of a simple biological truth. My connection to the Borg has been severed, but the collective still possesses my recollections, my experiences. In a sense, I will always exist.
Fascinating. That must be a great relief.
Yes.
Chakotay is investigating what happened on the shuttle and creates a holodeck simulation based on their records, and Neelix comes to join in and offer his 2 cents, and he gets to see himself die. Shockingly, that's weirding him out for some reason.
I died, and there was nothing. There was no one there. I took great comfort in knowing that we'd all be together again one day. But it's not true.
Yes, we actually have the same horrific theme as in Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. That there's nothing past this. The fear of materialism and nothing beyond. And this episode does a good job of dealing with that.
It's just a story. Myth.
So after a few days of sitting in his quarters doing nothing, Neelix is finally celebrating Prixon with the crew, but he's finding it hard to cope given his newfound secret nihilism going on.
Here's to you, Neelix.
We're not but meat and air! Life is doom! Life is doom! I mean,